Every year, 1 in 3 adults over 65 will fall. For many, that single moment reshapes everything. Confidence, independence, the freedom to move through their own home without fear. Yet some people in their 70s and 80s almost never fall. Not because they are more athletic, because they move differently, in ways so quiet you would barely notice. It starts with something as simple as where they look when they walk. Grace, age 78, walks her garden path every morning with her head gently lifted, eyes scanning the space ahead. Her steps are steady, her back relaxed, shoulders soft. This simple alignment, chin slightly tucked, gaze forward about 3 to 5 meters, keeps her center of mass balanced directly over her feet. For many older adults, a forward head posture shifts the body's center of mass forward by as much as 2.3 centimeters. That small tilt puts extra demand on the ankles and hips with every step, making it easier to lose balance. Physical therapists have long observed that restoring upright posture brings measurable gains. In a clinical trial, older adults who practiced head and neck alignment drills improved their timed up and go scores by 12%, meaning they could stand, walk, and turn more quickly and with greater confidence. The science is clear. When the head and trunk are upright, the body's weight is distributed evenly, and the visual system can scan for obstacles in time to adjust. Looking down at the ground, by contrast, limits what the eyes can see and forces the lower body to work harder to keep up. Grace's physical therapist explains that a simple cue, shoulders back, eyes ahead, can be enough to reset posture before each walk. Even brief daily reminders, like standing tall at the kitchen counter or when answering the door, reinforce this habit. The alignment isn't rigid, it is relaxed, allowing natural movement. The quiet act of looking forward, not down, is the first habit that keeps many seniors steady, confident, and in control of their own movement. Natural rhythm is the unsung hero of steady walking. With each step, the arms and legs move in quiet partnership, opposite arm to opposite leg, creating a gentle swing that stabilizes the trunk and keeps the body moving forward. In older adults, this arm swing often fades, sometimes out of self-consciousness, sometimes from stiffness or habit. Yet, restoring this simple motion can make a measurable difference. Clinical studies show that allowing the arms to swing freely cuts side-to-side sway by 12%, easing the burden on the ankles and hips. It is not about marching or exaggeration, but about letting the arms fall into their natural rhythm, hanging loose, moving with the stride. Physical therapist Dr. Kelly explains, when seniors restore a natural arm swing, we see a 12% reduction in medial-lateral sway within just 2 weeks of guided practice. This cross-body motion acts as a built-in shock absorber, helping the body correct for small slips before they become real threats. John, who returned to walking after a hip fracture, remembers his therapist's advice. Let your arms do their job. Don't hold them tight or cross them over your chest. Just let them move. Feet play their part too. Each step should begin with the heel, rolling smoothly through the arch to the toes. This heel-to-toe pattern allows the ankle to absorb impact and push off for the next stride. When this roll is lost, often replaced by a flat-footed shuffle, the ankle is forced to work twice as hard, and the risk of tripping rises, especially on slick or uneven surfaces. Even a 5% reduction in heel contact time can double the load on the ankle joint. Practicing this foot roll, even for a few minutes each day on a safe, flat surface, retrains the body's natural shock absorbers and keeps momentum flowing. The quiet habit of arm swing and heel-to-toe walking, often overlooked, is a foundation for safer, more confident movement. Short, deliberate steps form the quiet backbone of safe walking in later life. In community balance workshops, participants learn to aim for each stride to be about 60% of their standing height. For most, that means a step just under a meter, long enough to move with purpose, short enough to keep the body's weight centered. Studies show that this stride length, paired with a steady rhythm of about 100 steps per minute, allows the feet to land beneath the body rather than out in front, reducing the time spent off balance. When steps are too long, the center of mass shifts ahead of the base of support, forcing a hurried catch-up. When steps are too short, walking can become a slow shuffle, sapping confidence and momentum. Margaret, age 74, describes how counting her steps helped her regain trust in her own movement after a near fall. "I used to take big swinging steps like I always had, but my therapist showed me how to walk with smaller, more even strides. Now I count to 4 in my head as I walk down the hallway. It keeps me steady." Core strength quietly supports every step. The deep abdominal muscles, especially the transversus abdominis, act as a natural brace, stabilizing the spine and pelvis. When these muscles gently engage, imagine drawing the belly button slightly toward the spine. They form a protective belt around the lower back. Clinical trials have found that older adults who practice core activation see measurable reductions in trunk sway and faster recovery from slips. Simple cues, like bracing the core while standing at the sink or waiting for the kettle, build this habit into daily life. By pairing controlled steps with a mindful core, seniors create a stable, adaptable platform for every walk, indoors or out. These habits, woven quietly into the day, help preserve independence and ease. A well-lit home is one of the simplest, most effective defenses against falls. For older adults, the difference between a safe step and a misstep often comes down to what the eyes can clearly see. National safety guidelines recommend at least 300 lux of lighting in hallways and 500 lux on stairs. Those levels are noticeably brighter than the average living room lamp. Lux meters, available in most hardware stores or as a smartphone app, can confirm whether a hallway or stairwell meets these standards. Even a single LED strip or a motion sensor nightlight can raise a dim corridor to the recommended brightness, making thresholds and steps visible at all hours. Flooring transitions also deserve quiet attention. A non-slip mat in the bathroom, a strip of contrasting tape at the edge of a step, or a tactile marker where carpet meets tile can alert both the eyes and feet to a change in surface. These small cues help the body recalibrate with each transition, reducing the chance of a stumble. Grace, for example, replaced a glossy kitchen tile with a low-pile, non-slip rug after a near miss. She describes the change as a simple upgrade, one that lets her move from room to room with more confidence, especially in the early morning or at night. These subtle modifications, often overlooked, form the external foundation for safe, steady movement at home. For many older adults, the world narrows to what is just beneath their feet. The eyes settle on a patch of floor only a meter or two ahead. This shortened preview, typically about 1.5 to 2 meters, means obstacles or changes in surface appear with little warning. The body has less time to plan each step, and the margin for safe adjustment shrinks. Gait and vestibular specialist Dr. Lila Chen explains, when someone's visual field is limited, the brain relies more on sensation from the feet and joints. But with age, those signals are slower. The result is a cautious, almost hesitant walk. That caution is often driven by something deeper: fear of falling. Nearly 30% of adults over 65 report a persistent fear, even if they have not fallen before. This anxiety changes how people move. Muscles tense, steps become shorter and stiffer, and the natural swing of the arms fades. Ironically, these protective instincts increase the risk of losing balance. The cycle is self-reinforcing. Worry leads to stiffness, stiffness leads to instability, and instability feeds more worry. Dr. Chen has seen it many times. Breaking that cycle starts with restoring confidence. Even small successes, navigating a hallway or stepping over a threshold, can help the body relearn trust in its own movement. Understanding how the senses and emotions shape every step is the first step toward building steadier, more confident movement habits. Number 17. meatloaf with tomato glaze and green beans. Visible improvements often arrive sooner than most expect. In structured programs, older adults practicing these 6 habits notice measurable gains in balance, confidence, and walking speed within 6 to 12 weeks. This progression is not reserved for athletes or those with unusual discipline. It comes from a steady, graded approach, starting with simple cues, repeating them daily, and gradually adding small challenges. A typical protocol might begin with short, supported walks and gentle posture resets, then move to practicing heel-to-toe walking or arm swing in a safe hallway. Over the first month, seniors often report steadier turns and fewer stumbles. By week 6, timed walking tests, like the timed up and go, show clear improvement, sometimes by as much as 12%. Confidence builds with each small success. Margaret, now in her 8th week of daily practice, sums it up this way: "I trust my steps again. I can walk to the mailbox without thinking twice." These early wins help break the cycle of fear and hesitation, making each new habit feel more like second nature. Right now, a quiet shift in daily movement can mean years of steadier steps. Each calm adjustment, scientifically proven, offers real protection against the loss of independence. Balance is not a matter of luck or youth. It is built, moment by moment, in the way we choose to move today.